Hello. Welcome back to welcome to the first full episode of the BlueBlooded Podcast. I am your host, Ryan Hammer. I am joined by none other than my big brother, Adam. Give a round of applause.
Hey.
Yay.
First official non-half episode.
The first episode was like an intro episode. I went to Norway. Sorry, had to take a vacation. I'm a human being. Loved it, by the way. Norway, one of the happiest countries in the world. Did you know that? The people are very happy there. Great culture, great society.
Did you come back happier, ready to talk college basketball?
Actually, yeah. When I was there, I was thinking about Murray State in 2019
That's
a lot.
good.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little surprised you didn't put the Holland jersey behind you.
I thought about it.
Post Norway.
I was going to wear it too.
Ooh, that would have been good.
Maybe
too.
next week I'll wear it.
Maybe another time.
Next week I'll wear it. I'm excited to be here. Today's episode is going to be great. We're going to do some news and notes around the nation, what's going on with the sport right now. And the main topic is going to be the experiments of the college basketball season to watch out for. So teams that are doing new things and new styles, new types of players that you're going to see. We're going to have some rule changes we're going to talk about in college basketball. We are going to do a little fun guessing game, and we will do Q&A. So news and notes around the nation with current events in the sport, and Q&A will always be the bread. The maybe like a Italian bread. That's the sandwich, the beginning and the end.
A nice
every
loaf.
episode.
Before we do that, make sure follow, subscribe.
Of course.
You're R Hammer 09 everywhere, right?
Find it.
I'm Adam H Hammer everywhere. We're Blue-Blooded Pod or Blue-Blooded Podcast.
Also, shout out this jersey if you're watching on Spotify or YouTube. Arcadia Soccer. This is game worn Ryan Hammer soccer jersey from college. Just want to put that out there. It's limited edition.
Some sicko would bid for that on eBay.
It's actually a one of one. Someone would probably pay for it, honestly. Anyways, let's get into news and notes around the nation. There's not a ton going on in the sport, obviously, right now. There are some things. Sadly, there are some sad things that happened. Greg Glenn III, known Tulane basketball player and forward and starter, a really good player, passed away in a tragic car accident. We have to send our condolences. We have been doing that. It's crazy to think about how wild things like that can happen in accidents. He died in a car accident, which is super sad. Everybody that has been speaking about him and commemorating his life and is only saying positive things, and it makes you appreciate everyone in your life a lot more. But we are sending love to the Tulane family, to the Glenn family, and everybody that he knew well, and everyone that knew him. So that is sad news. Of course, more sad news. I'm not chuckling. I just like sad news on sad news lately. Elijah Arenas was in a car accident weeks ago or months ago. Didn't know how healthy he was right away. He ended up being fine. 5-star commit to USC. He tore his meniscus in training in the offseason, which is super sad, and he's going to miss the entire season. Now, he was one of the premier recruits in the entire country, and he was obviously a huge piece for the USC team that needed like that little bit of juice and that offensive talent, I think, really two-way talent. But that sucks for him. That's really sad. It's been a rough summer for him. So sending love out to the Arenas family, who's going through a lot right now and a million different things. And I don't know what path he's going to take because he's going to be healthy for like pre-draft stuff. He might be like, it's worth me going down that route just to test waters and see how that goes, because we saw Shaden Sharp for Kentucky, who was like injured or whatever, never played for Kentucky. He went to the draft process and he was a lottery pick. I don't think Elijah Arenas will be that. I don't think it's going to be that simple coming off this major of an injury. But it'll be interesting to watch later in the year if he's going to consider taking that route.
I don't know if this is too loaded of a question, but in a situation like this, is it taken into account who his family is, who his dad is? Does that help him in this process? Does that hurt him in this process?
It's a good question. Right now about his dad, I'm not going to answer that question right now.
Okay.
But I don't know, actually. I don't know in the grand scheme of things. I'll say yes because of connections, and agencies are going to want to push him to do that more.
Yeah.
Because people that he knows, he's been in the spotlight for a long time in his high school career. I'll say yes a little bit.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to drastically change things. I think because of the NIL money in the portal and everything like that, he might go back to USC for all we know with Musk. He might not. He might hit the portal. Who knows?
Yep. Well, good luck to Elijah, obviously, in his rehab and everything.
Yeah. Next news and notes, not really sadness per se, but it's sad to me. The ACC this year, they had 20 games scheduled for every single team in the conference for in-conference games. They moved to 18 this year, 18 games. Their reasoning was because they wanted to give teams the opportunity to add more really good out-of-conference games, because they weren't getting a lot of teams in the tournament. They've been struggling, the ACC, to get teams in the tournament. Everybody knows that. It's been a hot topic and really big concern for the conference. They do that, and then everybody that's releasing their non-con schedules, like Miami, I'll pull it up real fast, who they're playing, is atrocious. They're playing like 300 KenPom teams.
I find it super ironic that at a time when all these big conferences, and this goes for college football too, want more conference games because they're condensing and they know that part of the schedule is going to be better. The ACC is trying to move away from it, which is actually giving them a chance to play worse non-conference teams because everybody else is playing more conference games against each other.
And it's going to end up hurting them because
I know.
you beating another team that's really bad is not going to do anything. You need to have a few of those games. It boosts your analytics. I get that.
Right.
I pulled up Miami's schedule, for example.
Let it rip.
They're playing Jacksonville, Bethune-Cookman, Stetson. They play Florida, which is great. They play Elon, Delaware State. They go to the ESPN Events Invitational in Orlando. I don't remember who's playing in it. Then they play Ole Miss. And then they end with Southern Miss, Louisiana Monroe. I think these are the two added ones, FIU and North Florida. I'm not sure which ones would have been there or not.
To your point,
they keep playing bad teams.
They didn't add Florida. They didn't add the ESPN Invitational.
Ole Miss, they already had.
And they didn't add Ole Miss. So what did they have?
They added probably Delaware State and Bethune-Cookman or something like that. It's not just Miami. Also, I'm using Miami because it was on top of my brain. There were a few schools that have done this in the ACC. Miami's in a little bit of a different situation, and a lot of those bottom of the barrel teams, the ACC teams, might be, but it makes no sense to me. This is going to get them nowhere, and they're going to have to be damn near perfect in the out of conference to be a tournament team at all.
That's the biggest problem too. Is yes, it doesn't help to beat some of those teams,
Stetson or whatever,
but it absolutely crushes your resume to lose to one of them.
They will lose one of these games.
Right.
Guarantee Miami will lose one of these games because even though I like Jay Lucas and their team's actually pretty interesting, it's just how it's going to be.
It's not Miami's the example.
Yeah.
Not the point.
They're also home every single game. They don't play out of the state of Florida except for at Ole Miss, which is like two states over. They're at home, and when they go away, they play Florida in Jacksonville, neutral site.
ESPN's at Orlando.
Exactly. It's up the road like a few hours.
I believe they call
flight.
that stadium the Milk House. Shout out the Milk House.
I didn't know that.
It's true.
At Disney World?
Yeah.
I've played soccer there
You've
before.
played many soccer tournaments there.
Many. I've never played at the Milk House, though.
You've never played at the Milk House
Never had
before.
the honors.
Never had the honors.
Interesting.
Yes.
News and notes. I think you have one.
Yes.
Correct?
The other big news in sports business, I would say this week, it's not completely college basketball related, is that NFL Network and the NFL relinquished rights of Red Zone to ESPN.
Yeah.
And what it got me thinking, outside of ESPN better not touch uninterrupted 6 hours of NFL football, is imagine a wall-to-wall, noon to midnight coverage on a Saturday in February of college basketball. And the question I had for you is, outside of the two of us sitting in this chair, who do you think would be the right person to host something like that?
Ooh, that's a great question. By the way, if they fuck around with Red Zone a little bit, I'm going to be pissed.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to be pissed. Side note. That's tough because you need energy. Scott Hansen doesn't pee.
12 hours, maybe a two-man team.
12 hours is
Just
not
saying,
possible to not pee.
ESPN, if you're looking for a two-man team.
The correct answer first, John Fanta is the first person. We love John Fanta here.
Oh, man.
Shout out John Fanta. Shout out New Jersey. That man is a different breed.
He doesn't stop.
In the best way. He has the energy. He would never stop. He would keep going the entire time. And I think it's good to bring on a couple of teams in shifts, actually.
Yeah.
Instead of Scott Hansen just going around like that, because NFL and college basketball, I think require different levels of commentating a little bit, where football people want to see if their fantasy guys are scoring. That's why they're watching Red Zone 90% of the time.
That's a great point.
And college basketball, I think you need a little more touch on it. So if you have two guys that are doing it for 3 hours and then 3 hours or something like that, I think that's the ideal way to do it. And two guys together is probably good. Fanta is the first person I thought of. Beyond that, I honestly have no idea. I think of regular commentators. I think myself actually would be good at it, but I think regular commentators like Robbie Hummel and stuff would be really
somebody
good
who's
at
more
it.
seasoned, who's done the TV stuff.
Yeah, I'd probably be letting things slip too much.
Yeah, that's fair. Look, realistically, because of all the TV deals with the conferences,
It's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen, but the Premier League does it. They do the goal zone thing. We do Red Zone. MLB Network has kind of figured sort of a way out to go in and out of different games at certain times when they're doing their nighttime show.
Interesting.
The people that be in college basketball world, the ones who are making the video game happen, just one time.
And we're not even asking for it during March Madness because that's obviously.
No, you get
would
it
be
during
incredible.
March Madness.
Yeah, but if we did it on like you said, a Saturday in February when Kansas is playing Texas Tech,
Duke and Carolina.
Yeah, and you have all these games stacked up all day. Those Saturdays are the best days of my life, and I do it every year and every weekend. And it's amazing.
And it requires, I would say, elite television remote skills.
Or double, you have YouTube TV, right?
Yeah,
so you have the
quad
four
box.
screen.
Yep,
I don't have
quad
that,
box.
but I just do two TVs next to each other.
Well, imagine that there was somebody guiding you through it all.
Yeah, see, maybe we'll do live streams at some point later in the year, or I'll do it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But like, you can't put the game on the screen.
I know.
I'm gonna get shut down.
It's hard.
So it's interesting. The red zone stuff is interesting going on with ESPN. I just hope they don't mess around with it.
It's a nearly perfect product, and what ain't broke, don't fix it.
What's not perfect about it?
That the Jets are on it every week. Actually,
Well,
they're not
going to
really
be on no matter what. They're they're never in the red zone.
It's a sad life. Let's
They're never in the red zone.
move on.
Let's move on to the main part of the main segment of the episode, the main topic. Call this an experimental episode. So like we're scientists in the lab. I have 5 experiments that are going to be going on in college basketball this year, especially in the current landscape of things. You see teams, coaches try new things, schools bringing in new coaches that are going to be trying new things. There's some rule changes in this sport. I'm just going to get right into it with my first one. Were you going to say something?
All I was going to say is I'm going to let you rock for a lot of this. Would you say that these 5 are like 5 of the most important ones to you, or just 5 of the biggest questions out there?
A mix of both. I'd say there are 5 of the most notable ones.
Okay.
And when I talked about it, when I think experiment, like I'm not thinking, oh, well, like Baylor has an entirely new portal team. Like,
right.
Whatever. Scott Drew will figure it out. Like, maybe they'll be good, maybe they won't. But that's not, I'm talking things that teams haven't done in a while that are going to be very, very distinctly different from what we saw last year.
Okay.
Or could be, at least. First one is Kansas. I'm actually wearing a Kansas shirt. Shout out to Jayhawks. Kansas is going to be led by a young freshman for the first time since Andrew Wiggins in 2013-14.
Wow.
They're going to have Darren Peterson this year as their best player with 100% confidence as long as he's healthy. Where's the wood? Knock on wood. As long as he's healthy, he's going to be their best player, their leading producer, potentially in every single stat line, maybe besides rebounding or whatever. But it's something that Kansas hasn't done in so long. I think for good reason, because Bill Self started to realize that they were winning with guys that they developed internally, and they would win and succeed when they won the national championship with Ochai Agbaji as their senior and their leader, who was internally developed, and then they had freshmen around him, and they had Jalen Wilson coming up through the ranks. Then Jalen Wilson the years after was the upperclassman. They had Frank Mason, who was developed internally. Actually funny, the 2013-14 Kansas team that was good, I think they had a 2 seed led by Andrew Wiggins, who wasn't like asked of what Darren Peterson is going to be asked of this year in terms of like usage and role and everything. That team had Perry Ellis as a sophomore. It had Wayne Selden, Frank Mason, and Joel Embiid as freshmen, which is crazy. Embiid got hurt, which didn't help, obviously. Shocker.
Perry Ellis is a sophomore, so this is
05?
87.
I was thinking 05. Perry Ellis, 4-year basketball player. Did you know that?
I know he only played 4 years.
What's up with that? But yeah, so Kansas is going to be interesting to look at this year because I think Bill Self I think he had Hunter Dickinson for a couple of years, and he tried to build around him. And like Hunter was a great player, whether people want to believe that or not. It didn't work. They tried to figure it out with them. Those teams didn't work. Kevin McCullough got hurt 2 years ago. Last year, they just weren't good enough, and they weren't deep enough. It's going to be interesting and very different. Now, Bill Self has talked a lot about this team this year and how they're going to look, and he said that Darren Peterson's going to be asked of a lot. He didn't call the rest of the team trash. He basically said that, like, yeah, like with this team that we have, like, let's be honest here, guys, like Darren's going to have to do a lot. Like, he knows that, I know that, we all know that, but he also spoke really highly of DP and said that he is as elite of a freshman, as college ready as he has ever seen. And that is the truth. If you haven't seen Darren Peterson play at a high level in AAU and high school ball, he can drop 50, 60 in one of those games like nothing. He can do everything. He can have triple doubles. So it's interesting. That was me laying the basis of it, of everything. Kansas will look very different this year. I think they're going to be very variable because Darren, I think at some point, like the team I actually think is going to be decent. I think Flory Badunga is going to be huge this year. I think he's going to have a massive breakout, and I don't think people are ready for how good he's actually going to be for Kansas this year. But at some point, even with Cole Rosario coming in, even with Elmarco Jackson fully healthy in the backcourt, like they're going to have to go to Darren Peterson and be like, we are going to be as good as you take us.
Trey White in the portal.
Trey White solid. Melvin Council also. Yep. They have a couple of older guys, but at some point, they're going to have to be like, Darren, it's going to happen all year long. You're going to see more and more as the year goes on. And in the postseason, it's going to be like, Darren, we need you to win us game.
That was going to be my question is, they're going to go as Darren goes here.
Yeah.
Kansas hasn't made a Sweet 16 since their title in 2022.
Which is, by their standards, bad.
Agreed.
But they still have been good.
What is their ceiling this year?
Yeah, I'd probably say at the highest, I don't think they're going to be a Final Four team. I think they're going to be too centric around him. I think that Darren Peterson and Kansas are going to have a very similar season to Cade and Oklahoma State in 2018 or 2020-21, excuse me. Cade I think this team's actually better. The core around Darren is better than the core was around Cade. Cade put that team on his damn back. They got to a 4 seed in the Big 12, nonetheless, obviously. And they ended up losing to Oregon State in the second round of that tournament. They went on like a crazy Elite Eight run. But Oklahoma State could have won 2 or 3 games and gone to the Elite Eight. So I think that is probably their ceiling this year. And I think Darren's going to be asked of a lot like Cade was in a really loaded Big 12 conference. So I think that's kind of where they're going to end up.
I think Cade's a great comparison.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to not be a tournament team. I do think there's a chance that they could be like a 7 seed or 8 seed.
Sure.
Very, very realistic. If the young guys don't kind of go the way it goes to, with Bill Self hasn't been as elite of a coach, I think, schematically, as he usually is, but he's obviously still a legend and still a great coach. So if things don't adjust, if they turn sour quickly, then maybe they're not going to be as good.
I won't bet against Kansas. Just want to put that out there.
I won't bet against Darren Peterson either. He's got the it factor.
Yep.
Whatever that is, I don't know what it is that he has. He's got something.
Okay. Speaking of it factors, Ben McCollum.
Speaking of it factors, Bennett Sturts.
Okay. Go on.
Friend of the program, will be on the show at some point.
Go on.
That's our next experiment. Iowa playing the Ben McCollum Drake style you saw last year in the Big Ten in the Power Conference, which I think is going to be a bigger transition than people expect.
Well, the Fran McCaffrey style is unbelievably different.
It's 100 to 95, and they lose 90% of the game.
Right.
90%.
The Ben McCollum versus Fran McCaffrey is the biggest contrasting styles that you can have, and it just so happens to be in a conference that historically plays pretty slow basketball, pretty physical basketball.
Isn't there a football team like really slow also? Or it was, now it's changed.
Iowa's football defense is excellent all the time.
Okay. Offensively
questionable.
That's what I've heard. It's going to be interesting, Iowa. I think they're going to be good for sure. Drake was good last year. I have some stats actually I pulled up. Drake, people going into the tournament last year didn't think Drake was actually that good. Bennett Sturts, because they were like this really hyped up team.
Yeah,
I was on that wagon with them. I love them. They were. I think
awesome. We both had them winning too.
Yeah, they're way too good to count out like that. No, they played Texas Tech second round. I would never have done that.
True,
never. But last year they weren't just good against bad teams. They were good against everybody. They played 4 quad 1 games and 4 quad 2 games.
You're talking about Drake, right?
Drake.
Okay.
Last year, because let me also say the team this year is going to be very similar to Drake team last year. Yeah. Take out a couple players, add in a couple of players with power conference experience that aren't like crazy premier. So, which is actually a good point. Torvik has them projected at 38th right now, 26 in defense and 26 in offense, 57th in defense, but they're going to be 102nd in talent ranking.
Okay. Take
that with a grain of salt, but 38th overall projected efficiency with 102nd in talent is speaking to the coach. Ben McCollum has had success at every single level, in the D2 level, the D1 level right away. There's a reason he has this job. I very firmly believe that Ben McCollum is the right man for the job. And Bennett Sturts is going to be one of the best players in the country this year.
Does it concern you that they're a little bit undersized?
A little bit, but Drake was also that way last year.
Yeah.
And to my
this
point,
is the Big Ten,
right? And that's where it's going to be a problem. And like you saw teams with Illinois last year, where they don't have a lot of great defensive physicality in their front court, and I think that was a problem for them. And it's going to be a problem for them. Drake also did a really good schematic job at defending against bigs and stuff like that. They were in the game against Texas Tech, who wasn't super big, but JT Toppin was a problem, obviously. And Mizzou, it wasn't like an overly sized or underly sized team, I don't think, so it was fine. But their 4 quad 1 and quad 2 games, they played Vandy, who was good, tournament team. Miami and Kansas State, not as good last year. They played Bradley 3 times, who Bradley deserves credit. They were very good last year. They went 2-1 in that one. They played Mizzou, Texas Tech. I think those are their 8 quad 1 and 2 games. I assume those were their 8 quad 1 and 2. They went 7-1 of those games. Efficiency-wise, metric-wise, statistical production, they were no different on the grand scheme of the season than they were in those games against maybe not all really good teams, but against better teams and good teams, power conference teams. So it's not the Big Ten. They did play a team like in Mizzou who isn't the Big Ten team. They don't play like a traditional Big Ten, but they play fast. They play physical. It's intense, which I think can be similar.
Yeah, I think stereotypically the Ben McCollum coaching schematics and strategy is exactly what the Big Ten is, quote unquote, supposed to be.
It might transition quickly then. Yeah.
I think it will. And he's a top 5 X's and O's guys in the coach in the sport. Excuse me.
He's awesome.
He's fantastic. So
good.
I have very little doubt that it's going to translate.
And he will adjust. They were 364th in pace last year, Drake.
Yeah.
They won't be that slow at Iowa this year. He is not. I think he knew he needed to do that as a mid-major team to have a chance to succeed in March. I think he's going to dial it up a little bit. He'll adjust.
He's going to lean on Sturts so much this year, too, which is important for
love
transition.
Him.
Yeah,
I love him. That's my guy right there, and I think he's going to be one of the best players in the league and in the country. But at what point are they going to rely on him too much, like to be perfect? Last year, when they played Missouri in the tournament, and it was as someone who's like pulling for Drake in that game, I will admit that for sure. It was
great.
It was also not fun to watch at times because Bennett, I've talked about this. My man was shooting one-legged from the parking lot. Like they're not going to need that all the time, but he was damn near perfect in that game.
He was great.
So how often are they going to need him to be perfect to win?
Yeah.
And we talk about Darren Peterson in Kansas, like it's kind of the same thing. At some point, Bennett Sturts is going to have to take you there.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to contend to win the Big Ten title or anything. I think their goal is to be a safe tournament team on Selection Sunday.
Okay. Unrelated but related note, can we please get to the Palestra to see Fran McCaffrey?
Absolutely.
And Penn.
That's another experiment we're not going to talk about, but yeah.
We should.
I mentioned Illinois before. I think they're a good experiment to talk about. The Balkan Block. The Balkan Block.
Brad.
I will read you the names also for anyone who doesn't know. Tomislav Ivicic
Can
returning.
you spell all of these too? No, don't do that.
I'm not going to do that. It's written in front of me, so I could.
You see it.
Tomislav Ivicic returning from last year. He was good. Zvonimir Ivicic, his brother, who went to Kentucky and Arkansas in the Cal regime, and now he's playing with him. Andrei Stojakovic, Page's son, who comes from Cal and Stanford. I was like, oh my God, Cal or Stanford?
Shout out Mark Madsen.
Well, I didn't know if it was Cal or Stanford,
It's Cal.
but then it was both.
Yes.
It was Stanford, then Cal. David Mirkovic from Montenegro and Mihajlo Petrovic from Serbia. Now, they are going to get a guard in Mirkovic who's nice, who's older, and Petrovic is a little younger and raw. I don't think it's going to be like this crazy transition like you brought up before about, like we talked about earlier, about how like their Euro styles, like the Ivicic brothers have been playing in college basketball. Andre is raised in the United States, been playing American basketball. Like, they will be fine, I think. I actually think this team this year will be better than it was last year.
Yeah.
I just think, I look at the team last year and their struggles. They didn't shoot the ball consistently and well from outside, and they really struggled against good bigs, especially in the Big Ten. When they played against Juju and Derek Queen, when they played against Danny Wolf and Vlad.
Tomislav was out also for a couple of those games.
That's true. Against Maryland, he was the one where Derek Queen fried them.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. They're not super deep.
They're not deep.
Big-wise, they lost Morris Johnson also. So they're going to have the Ivicic brothers who offer very similar types defensively. I think Petrovic is more physical and he can shoot a little bit, so that'll help them. But I still think defensively they're going to have the same issues. They should be a better shooting team by the looks of it.
Too.
Boswell healthy, obviously, and he's been. But Boswell, the Ivicic brothers, Stojakovic being able to shoot, like they should be able to shoot the ball well. But they defensively is going to be a problem in the front court again.
Yeah, but that's the European style. Look, like the elephant in the room is that with NIL, you're going to see a lot more guys from Europe
the pros
come play college ball.
Yeah,
right. They're basically pros already.
Yeah,
but come play college ball instead of just jumping straight to the NBA.
Yeah.
So it's funny that it happens to be Champaign, Illinois.
No, it makes no sense.
But you're going to see a lot of these Eastern European guys follow each other over. They just so happen to have the most Eastern European-looking head coach around, which doesn't hurt.
I love that he's like soaking it in.
Yeah,
those pictures, the profile pictures or something like that, of him like with the smoking the cig and stuff like that.
And they're going to love playing Brad ball. Like they're going to love playing at his pace.
They need to wear the orange jumpsuits, like the Illini jumpsuits, the old Adidas ones. They're Nike though, I think, right?
I think they're Nike.
Nike better hook them up.
Yeah.
That'd be so sick if they all pulled up in a game. They would look like the not the Globetrotters, the Globo Gym Purple Cobras. Like that's what they would look like pulling up. It'll be interesting though to watch them play. I think they'll be good. I don't think they'll be like drastically better than last year, but I think they will be better set up to succeed.
By the way, color me unsurprised that Page's son can shoot the lights out.
Yeah, he's nice. Andre is nice, too. I'm excited to watch him play. I don't know how they're going to balance everything between, like, Mirkovic and Boswell and then Andre and the bigs. Like, there's a lot of – I think it'll be more balanced offensive output, which is good, but also not good sometimes. I think hopefully Andre takes over a little bit.
Of everything that you've listed out for this, to me, this is the most interesting, fascinating thing happening in college basketball this year.
Really?
I mean –
that's a good clickbaity title.
From a team perspective, yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Their whole team is Eastern European.
It is freaky. I actually asked KJ Kasparis Yakushionis the day before the draft
yeah,
when
please.
I saw him.
There's too many KJs.
Yakushionis.
Thank you.
Yakuchonis, sorry. I asked him about this, and he was like, yeah, like, it'd be cool to play another year or something like that. And he's just, like, confused about it also.
Yeah.
They're like, it just happened.
It's fascinating.
I think if you ask the Underwoods, they'd be like, I honestly don't know how this happens. I have no idea. I would love to find out about that.
Yeah, but I love that. Like, because he wants guys who could play basketball.
Yeah.
And that are going to work hard and they're going to hustle and they're going to score points. And guess what these guys are going to do?
They're gonna do that. They're gonna try
all of that.
We'll see. We'll see how good they are.
There's some other really big news in college basketball with coaching challenges this year.
Indeed. The rule change, yes.
Talk to me about, like, what does the rule change mean? How's it being implemented?
Let me ask you this. Were you frustrated last year watching college basketball? Ball goes out of bounds, 2 minutes left, minute and a half, 30 seconds, 21 seconds, 19 seconds.
Yeah.
And they got the call. But they're like, I'm not really sure. There's a little sliver.
This feels rhetorical because the obvious answer is everybody was frustrated by it.
Yes. So that's what they're trying to eliminate.
Okay.
They're trying to make it better for the fans and get that. What they're doing is you cannot review out-of-bounds calls unless it's challenged by the coach. Now, like in the NFL, we see with the challenge rules, you have one challenge per game.
Okay.
And if you get it right, like in the NFL, I'm saying, you get your one challenge right, you get another one for whenever
Okay.
in the game. And you can challenge it on whenever you need to.
And you
later
can
in the
use
game.
it whenever you want,
I
over
believe
2 minutes,
so.
under 2 minutes.
I believe so.
Okay.
They are allowed to review certain things, like if it was a 3 versus a 2 and shot clock violations, which is great because
Okay.
there's no like, ooh, I'm not really sure. It's either the buzzer went off or if it's a 3, it's a 2. It's
Got
pretty
it.
easy.
But there's
I feel
no, like, this is not like it was a foul and you didn't call it.
No.
Okay.
I think for like technicals they can.
Okay.
Because like
Interesting. That's reviewed anyway most of the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Will they still review that stuff?
I think so.
Okay. So it
the
sounds like the
flagrant one-
out of bounds stuff can now only be challenged or it won't be
and
reviewed.
like charges and like they were able to
Okay.
challenge, like look at stuff
Okay.
like random stuff under 2 minutes, whatever it was last
right.
year.
That will still all apply.
The
I
end of the
assume.
games are really annoying. Now, I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit because we all don't want to see like, oh my god, another out of like just you called it, you got it right, move on. And if
Yeah.
you didn't, everyone saw it look like the same way, whatever. Like that's part of the game. I am firmly a believer that like, you don't lose a game off of one ref call, basically ever, even if it's a terrible call in the
Right.
last second of the game. You had 40 minutes before that to figure it out. So I think that's good. Devil's advocate, people are gonna be pissed when they lose games. And they're like,
Because they can't
They
challenge.
didn't review this. They didn't review this
Right.
out of bounds call. That's
Right.
it's going to happen to a million teams.
Yeah,
a million teams.
I think you're right. I think it will take some adjusting. But in the grand scheme of things, one
better.
of the most frustrating things about watching college basketball is how genuinely slow the last 2 minutes of every game
So
is
bad.
when they're going to the monitor and going back to the monitor and going back to the monitor and going back to the monitor.
Yeah.
Now, to your point, if a coach keeps getting it right, they
you
can.
only get 2 total.
Oh, okay. So then that's
Like if you get 1, you get another one. That's it.
so. There's okay. So you get 2
If
challenges.
you get it right,
Got it.
You get a second.
Got it.
If
And
you get a
that's it.
second right, you're just balling. Yeah.
What you're going to see is coaches just pocketing them till the end of the game, obviously, because if you use one early and you get it wrong, then it's
stupidest
over.
thing. It's the stupidest thing in the world.
That's the worst part about it.
Right. And people always say on Twitter, which is interesting, like, you know what? Next time they go like this, make that binding this year. If a player goes like that and they're crying like a little biatch, like they have to review it. That's their challenge. That's their challenge right there.
I like it.
That's not going to happen,
Hold
obviously.
the players accountable.
Exactly.
That's right.
It is really annoying in the NBA and college basketball. Every 3
Yeah.
seconds,
Yeah.
they go like this to the coach. I'm like, I understand the frustration.
Okay.
Like I'm an athlete, I get that, but at the same time,
And this is, just to be clear, because I'm learning along here,
Yeah.
too, this is across the whole sport, tournament,
Should be all
conference
year
tournament,
long.
postseason, everything.
yeah, I'm sure next year they'll hate it and change it again. So, all right, we're gonna take a quick break. You'll hear a word from our sponsor. We're gonna get back with our 5th experiment, and then we'll do fun game Q&A, and we will be right back. Today's episode is brought to you by none other than Homefield. Homefield Apparel, the best college apparel and best vintage college apparel on planet Earth. If you know me, you know that I love Homefield. They help me make the Trapezoid of Excellence shirts, which you can still go buy. You should go do that. But they've also just been a really good big supporter of me during my journey. I'm a big supporter of them. They have elite quality items, so we love partnering with Homefield here.
Yep, with college football right around the corner, they are releasing platinum football boxes later this week with your favorite teams that include a really awesome heavyweight hoodie. It screams fall is here, screams college football season. Get yours at homefieldapparel.com this Friday, August 8th, dropping for 45 different teams. Does not
Gas.
get better than that.
That's gas. The heavyweight hoodies
Yeah, they're-
are this. I know it's an ad read. They're literally the greatest thing in my closet. I wish I had one down here. The greatest things in the world.
I sent Ryan a text about 5 minutes after the release saying, I need the Maryland box.
Fine. We'll take care of it. Fine. All right. We are back from that lovely sponsor read with Homefield. We love them. Go buy your college football platinum boxes later in the week. Fifth experiment that I have on here. You remember Josh Pastner?
The dentist. He wore that screen for a really long time.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, the dentist.
I guess that was COVID, right?
He wore it. It lingered.
He wore it too long?
I think so.
Yeah, but they had to wear the mask a lot.
Go on.
Josh Pastner's the new coach at UNLV. That's basically it. UNLV is going a very different route. They've been pretty underwhelming as a program. I actually thought they were going to be better with Deion Thomas last year. They couldn't really find the swing pieces around him and stuff like that, and just couldn't put it together. But UNLV, in a competitive Mountain West, it's going to be shifting a lot. They're taking a very, very different route, and I honestly think it's a good experiment worth the risk that they're going to be taking. They're hiring Josh Pastner, who hasn't coached since 2022-23 with Georgia Tech. He was in the
studio for a while, right?
He's been in the ESPN studio for a lot, which I love because he's still tapped in with the game.
Right.
He still understands every aspect of it. I think it gives you a different perspective when you go from coaching to media. I think they would all say that, at least. I obviously didn't do that, but I think they would all say that, yeah, like you get a different lens on things. You watch games differently. You hear things from fans and different people in the industry more. So I think that's interesting. He wasn't good at Georgia Tech. To be fair, it's not easy to succeed at Georgia Tech in the ACC and everything that they kind of had. They did have one tournament year with like Jose Alvarado, and he kind of always had a very unique creativity to his schemes, very especially defensively. A couple of different like 1-3-1, I think, zone matchups that he had that were super, I guess, dependent on the player and the personnel he had. So I think he'll be crafty and creative, which is good for a school like UNLV. They need to shake it up and try to do that and influx that. Their team is going to be damn good this year, and we are going to see them in Las Vegas at the Players Era
Pretty
tournament.
pumped.
They're going to play Maryland, right?
Yep.
And I think they play Alabama also. Maryland and Alabama, very early in their season.
Trial
down the
by
road.
fire.
I mean, they don't have to win those games.
No.
But I'll go through their team real fast who they're going to be bringing in. Kamani Hamilton, who was one of the better players in the High Point team last year. Miles Shea, that's my guy right there. A little bit of a sharpshooter from UC Irvine, who was basically the quality of a tournament team. They went to the, final, NIT final. Did they win it?
I don't know.
I think they lost.
Go
in the final, whatever it was. Dre Gibbs Lawhorn, Illinois legend. The Illinois fans love him. I actually think he's going to have a huge breakout season. I'm very excited. I hope he has like a little bit of that lead role opportunity, which he probably should. They're getting Al Green from LA Tech, Louisiana Tech, who's good. Nas Cunningham from Alabama, who was once a number 1 overall recruit in high school. I think he was class of like 2024, and in 2022 as like a sophomore in high school, he was the number 1 recruit in the class, which is pretty interesting. So like he's obviously a talented player. It didn't really work out at Bama. He's going to UNLV, and then they got Laji Dembele from Iowa. Yeah. Wasn't like amazing size, front court player, played in the power conference, which is good. Without a doubt, they have talent, especially on the offensive end of the floor. A lot of things have to mesh. We know that with teams that are portal teams. We saw that most teams have some kind of continuity that succeed. To be fair, it's mid-major or a non-power team, whatever you want to say. So this is why I say the experiment is worth it. UNLV has not been able to crack the code. I don't know if it's going to work so easily like that on day one. Not only is everyone on the roster new, the entire coaching staff and the program and everything is new. It's a lot of new things.
It's fascinating, but the program wants to be good. They invest in it. It's a really tough place to play. Yeah. There's history there.
That's why I like what they're doing.
It could work.
That's why I like what they're doing, because they're not just being like, oh, let's get another coach and let them do whatever.
This is a home run swing.
This is the definition of an experiment.
Yeah.
This is, you said Illinois is the most interesting experiment to you. This might be the most interesting to me. I'm a big Mountain West guy also, and the Mountain West is going to be crazy this year because they have the normal Mountain West. UNLV could be good, and they add in GCU. Yeah. So I'm looking at the team. San Diego
and this is
State,
the last year of the Mountain West as we know it, too.
Right. We're going to get one loaded year.
Right.
San Diego State, Boise State are definitely going to be really good. Utah State, always good. Always good. GCU is going to be good. Then that's 4 good teams you know for sure.
Right.
Throw in UNLV, Colorado State, and New Mexico, who you know are going to be probably good also. All those teams are not getting in the tournament.
It's a really good conference.
They're not all getting in the tournament. No. So you have to beat out teams like New Mexico that is going to play the UC San Diego style a little bit with Eric Olin. There's Colorado State, who's always been good, even though they lost Nico this year. You're going to have to probably beat out a GCU or Utah State, which is not going to be easy. The Maryland-Alabama tests at the Players Era will be interesting because they don't need to win those games. They just need to not lose by 40 to Alabama.
You've always been the biggest flag carrier for the Mountain West around. I think this year there's probably more credence to it than ever.
Yeah.
And Pastner's a really interesting one at a school that can be really good.
I'm intrigued.
They're resourced well.
I kind of yapped a lot because, like, I just wanted to get all the information out because I don't think people fully understand what UNLV is going to look like this year. I'm very, very, very intrigued by the Running Rebels. I want them to be good. I think I want them to be good at least. Josh Pastner rocks.
Sure.
He's a good dude.
I've said before that I think college basketball is better when Maryland's good. And
UNLV.
I do mean that. I actually think there's some juice there, yeah.
What was it? When were they good? 90s or something like that?
Yeah.
Even before that? They were like, they won national championships. So.
Yeah, there's history there.
Yeah.
I think that there's some juice there. I think if UNLV was good, the Mountain West gets propped up to a different level.
And Las Vegas, the NBA and basketball in general, WNBA, like the way they've invested in basketball in Vegas, this is a huge opportunity for UNLV and the program.
And Players Era tournament in Vegas, they get to showcase themselves. Not on home court, but kind of on home court, so to speak. So it should be a fun one.
That'll be interesting. All right, we're going to get to a little fun segment, a little game for everybody here.
Yeah.
Bart Torvik, great analytics site. They do projections. First of all, Torvik has projections earlier than anybody, which I very much love. Because it's July. Well, right now it's August, but July I get to look at projections for teams that it doesn't matter. Another thing they do is they do projected contributors. So they project like statistical production. They'll say, Darren Peterson's going to score, I don't know, whatever it is, 20 a game, whatever that. So what we're going to do, I want you have the players pre-selected, right?
I do.
You're going to give me the player. I'm going to guess what their projected stat line is for this year. We'll see if I can get it right.
Cool. I have 5 players. I'm going to start by saying they're all good players. These are not like role guys or bench guys or anything like that.
So you don't have Miles Shea at UNLV. Actually, I shouldn't say that. That's my guy.
I don't, but we can throw it in at the end if there's time.
That's okay.
Okay? I'm going to start off with a bang.
Oh, boy.
Project the Torvik stats.
Yeah. Project the Torvik projected stats.
Project the Torvik projected stats.
Yes.
For projected starter, AJ Dabanza.
Ooh, boy. Ooh, this is interesting. I didn't look at all the teams intentionally for this segment because I wanted to wait. I don't know how they're going to, Torvik's going to take it with like Richie Saunders is obviously a big contributor already. Like Rob Wright, AJ. I think a lot of the stats can be inflated for some of the offensive powerhouse teams. I think they're going to have AJ at like 17.2 points per game, like 6.5 rebounds and like 2.5 assists.
You're close.
Okay.
He's got him at 18.4.
Okay.
And 7.9
how
rebounds.
How many assists?
And 2 assists per game.
That's pretty good.
I think that's pretty good. That gets a thumbs up from me. Good guessing.
Yay.
By the way, they also have Richie Saunders, 16 or almost 17 points, 5 rebounds a game.
What about Rob Wright?
Rob Wright, 10 and 3.
10 and 3. What about assists?
10, 3, and 4.
He's going to have 6, 7 assists a game.
Okay.
I shouldn't have said 6, 7. Whatever.
Okay. Good transition.
Yeah.
Assists. What do you think?
Braden Smith.
Yeah. Torvik, Braden Smith.
Say it again. Sorry, Braden
What do you
Smith?
think the
That makes sure I got
projected stats for Torvik's project? What do you think Braden Smith is on Torvik?
Okay. I can't check his stats from last year, right? Am I allowed to? Or am I allowed
I'd prefer you don't.
Shit, okay.
For this segment.
Fine, I'll figure it out.
Ryan Hammer, ball knower, doesn't need to check the stats.
He averages so many assists. This guy's
Right.
a demon.
It's more
than
than
I know
Dabanza.
that Ryan Nemhard led the country and he had like 10 point something, or he was the only like double-digit guy
You know what?
close to it.
I will tell you how many assists he had.
You don't have to. I don't want you to.
Okay.
I know that Nemhard was about double digits. I know that Braden was under that. I think he was
was
at like 7 and change and like 15 points.
It was more than that, but it was not 10.
Okay. I don't think he's going to like drastically increase his production this year. I just think Purdue is going to be a lot better. Braden will have to score a little bit more, I think, for them to be as elite as they want him to be. Actually, I don't know if he will, but I think the stat line is going to be similar to what it was last year. I'll say 16.1 points per game. I'll say 15.1 points per game. And I'll say 9.1 assists and like 4 boards.
Okay. So it's funny because Torvik's projections are a drop lower than his finishing line last
That's
year.
what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to go crazy.
His assists are the biggest disparity because he has him at 15.6 points per game.
What did I say? 15 what?
15-1, close to what you
Okay.
said. 4 rebounds per game. Last year he had 4.5 and he had 15.8
Sure.
points. The biggest drop is he finished last year with 8.7 assists per game.
You think it's going down?
Second in the country. He's got it all the way down at 6.5.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I understand that Purdue has gotten a little better in Omer Meyer and a couple of guys. Braden's gonna do Braden.
By the way, he has Omer Meyer as merely an empty bench piece.
He has that with I think that's how he does the international guys.
I understand.
But
I actually don't have anything from Illinois. I do have something from Illinois here, so it'll be a fun one.
Okay, let's just fire away then. Interesting. That's interesting about
Okay.
Braden Smith. I think that, I don't know. Let's fire away with the Illinois one.
Okay, no, I was checking something for Illinois. I don't have anything for Illinois.
Oh, okay.
But I will give you the last Big Ten one that I have.
Okay.
Which is Maryland's own Pharrell Payne.
I love his game.
Now, this is a tricky one because it's a new coach transfer,
Tough.
but same offensive situation and a lot of the same team.
And I know him. He's not going to score a buck ton. He's going to rebound the shit out of the ball. He going to rebound the ball. That man is a demon in the paint. I'm going to guess what?
I'm going to just, one thing I'm going to say is this is the second highest offensive rating of the 5 guys I'm giving you. I was very surprised
Offensive rating, I'm not going to guess
at
that.
how high it was. No, that should lead
he's
on
efficient
something.
because he rebounds,
Yes.
he dunks, and
Yes.
he's awesome at it. He's a great lob threat, and he's a force.
Yep.
I can't wait to see him at Maryland, by the way. He's going to be fun to watch. I'll say like 9.2 points per game and like 9.5 rebounds.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
15.3 points per game.
Whoa!
And 7.5 rebounds per game.
What did he average last year?
For Pharrell Payne? Pharrell
I
Payne
must be
last...
bugging.
Yeah, I don't think you gave him enough credit. He
My bad.
averaged 10.5 last year.
I said 9.5. It's
10.5 and
9
5.
whatever.
But he has him being the guy on Maryland.
Interesting.
He has 3 guys as double-figure scorers: Miles Rice, Darius Adams, the freshman.
Yeah, Darius rocks.
And Pharrell Payne. But he has him far and away.
What does he have, Miles, and what's his face at?
13.8 for Miles Rice points per game, and 11.5 for Darius.
So
Maryland is the number 41 projected.
They're
team.
going to get 40 plus from those 3 guys every night. I don't think that's fair.
That would be great for Maryland.
I don't think that's going to happen. I love Maryland, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
So,
Well, I think it's going to happen.
Okay.
How about that?
Whatever.
Go Terps. Okay. 2 more. DJ Wagner at John Calipari's Arkansas. I thought this would be a fun one.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Because Acuff is coming in. Malik. Oh, man, this is tough. He's such a tough player to gauge, too, and where he can go all over the place. I might need his stats from last year. Is that fair? Can I ask for that?
I can give them to you. Last year, DJ Wagner finished with 11.2 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 3.6 assists per game. He shot 40%, by the way.
From the field, yeah.
Pretty efficient.
That's not efficient.
It would be
field?
It would be from 3.
Yeah, it would be. That's tough. Acuff's so nice. I don't think DJ's going to do a lot more than he did this year. You said 11, whatever, and whatever.
Yeah, it was 11, 2.7, and 3.6.
I'll say, is it a cop out? 11, 3, and 3. I don't think it's going anywhere.
So it's 3 and 3 and 14.7. He has him as the leading scorer for Arkansas next year.
I don't think that's going to happen.
He has him as the leading scorer.
What does he have Acuff at?
10.5.
I think it's good.
Carter Knox. Carter Knox at 14-1.
Carter Knox is a good one. What about Malik Thomas?
9.
I think swap the guard. I think swap Acuff and DJ. I think that's about accurate.
Okay.
Scoring
but he
wise.
does have rebounding and assists almost at the same
those
spot.
aren't going anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Last one, returning junior to Dan Hurley's program, all-name team, Solo Ball.
I love Solo Ball. I think the projection's going to be big. He's going to be the dude this year.
Yep.
Even with AK.
Do you want his stats from last year too?
I think I know that he averaged like 15 or 16 last year.
14.5.
Yeah.
3.6, 1.6.
They're going to bump this up. I'm going to go like 17, like 5 and 2.
He has 15.7, 3.7, and 1.7.
Wait, hold on. What?
15.7 points per game.
Oh.
3.7 rebounds per game.
Okay.
1.7.
So I was a little up on the scoring, but a little bit of an
per
increase,
game.
it sounds like.
He has him as the second leading scorer at UConn next year.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
I think he's going to be the leading scorer. I think
so too.
I think Solo Ball is definitely going to lead the team in scoring.
He's one of my favorite players
He's
in college
nice.
basketball.
He is fun.
Yeah,
he is fun.
He's going to have a really good
He
year.
is fun.
Shout out
player.
Bart Torvik, as always.
What a sight.
What a sight.
What a sight.
Okay.
What a lad.
It's Q&A time.
Q&A. We will end every single episode with Q&A. I love you, all of you.
I love you too.
And I want your questions always. I want your input. When I started YouTube last year, I want to say, it was only Q&A. I was like, I want to make YouTube videos, even if they're bad and shitty, like whatever, I'll figure it out. And I didn't know what to do every single week. So I was like, you know what? I'll let people give me topics. It made my life easy also. But it was great because I want to know what you guys want to talk about. So we will do Q&A every single week throughout the entire season. Don't forget that.
Awesome.
That being said,
we have 5 questions. 4 of them you have seen already, and we have prepped. I know, believe it or not, we prepped for the show. And I am reserving one for every episode as a bonus question that you have not seen or known which one I've chosen yet.
on the spot.
So question number 1 comes from Cole Bowen on Instagram.
Shout out Cole.
Shout out Cole. Who are the most underrated transfers this year?
I prepared 3.
Okay.
A list of 3. My first one was Lawan Watts. at Texas Tech. The story is Christian Anderson, JT Toppin, who are for sure the duo of the team. They're going to be amazing. Could both be All-Americans for all I care right now. I don't think people understand LaJuan Watts is going to be a close, like almost like make a trio of that. That man is an absolute sniper. He can shoot the ball. He can play. He's strong. He's young. I think he's underrated. I think he can play up size-wise and on the wing, even though I think he's only listed at like 6'4". I know that's how McCassin likes to play it, and I think he's going to have to play a lot of like 3, maybe even 4 guard lineups this year, considering him a guard, put him on the wing at the 3 or 4. I like him. People know about Cedric Coward at Washington State last year. They don't really think about Watts because of that, because of Cedric Coward and his draft rise and everything like that. So I think Watts is going to be good. I think Jacob Kofi, who is, if you're like a deep NBA draft nerd, you know, people know Jacob Kofi is from Virginia, but the draft nerds understand the analytical stuff behind Kofi and how good of a season he actually had, even though the efficiency splits weren't like all there. And he's a draft darling, we'll call him. I think Kofi, he's an awesome defender from UVA. I very much believe in his skill set. I've seen him really work on his shooting. He's been able to stretch it a little bit. He's willing to shoot it. His midi game, his turnarounds, I think he's going to be awesome for USC. I think he's very underrated because people don't expect him to be a major contributor. And especially with Elijah Arenas out, opens up another spot.
He's a great fit in a Muss offense.
Yeah, he's going to be good. He plays the game pretty simply, too. He's strong. He's forceful. He's going to muscle up.
By the way, despite efficiency splits, he shot 50% last year. 49 and a half.
Probably like 20 to 30 from 3, which is not
it wasn't great,
the end of the world, but yeah, exactly. And it was his first year, so he'll be fine.
Yep.
Like Jim Covey. And then all-name team, Mr. Dean.
So just to be clear, Solo Ball and Mr. Dean.
No.
All-name team.
Have you ever heard of All Right?
Yeah, I know.
He's actually good.
Okay.
He's going to be the starting. I think he's Xavier. Mr. Dean at Charleston, though. But what's his face? Sorry.
Mr. Dean.
All Right, though.
Yeah.
I think he's Xavier this year.
He's all right.
You know, I think he's actually good, though.
Okay, but Mr. Dean is...
Mr. Dean is nice. He's a good slasher. Yeah.
USC Upstate last year.
Yeah, I want to make sure that... Yeah, okay. Good slasher, strong player, good wing. I think he's going to be really good in a Charleston system that runs, and they dominate the CAA for the most part in the last 3 or 4 years. Chris Mack's going to love a guy like that. So I think Mr. Dean is a good shout.
So Watts, Kofi, Mr. Dean, your 3 underrated transfers of the year.
Yeah.
Cool. Question number 2 also comes from Instagram from Eric Saul. The question is, do you think it's possible for a mid-major to win a national title in today's college basketball environment?
Yeah, I actually didn't think about this and write a lot of stuff down for this. It's a tough question. It's a really good question, too. So shout out to Eric, you said, right?
Yes.
My brother Eric. Shout out to Eric Saul on Instagram. Great question. I think the answer is no. Even when San Diego State got to the national championship and I was there, they were never winning that game. From the start, I was all about San Diego State that year. All respect to the Techs and my guys and stuff, but they were never winning that game going into that last year. Even if it was FAU, it didn't matter. It was going to be UConn no matter what. I think for a team to win a national championship that's a non-power team, it has to be a Gonzaga-type rise. And I don't think anyone's going to be able to have that with the inconsistencies in the sport and recruiting and portal and player turnover and stuff like that.
It's amped up now with NIL too, where all the big schools that have the SEC schools.
The disparity's huge.
It's bigger now than ever. And I hate to say it because everyone loves a mid-major run. They already were not winning the national championship. You'd get one in the Final Four every once in a while. You'd get a Butler or a George Mason. You'd have really amazing runs like that. Loyola Chicago.
Yeah.
But that was where they got.
You're never going to see your Drake type teams, especially now.
Yeah.
There's a cap with how the landscape is on mid majors. If Gonzaga's mid major, which they're not, then they will win at some point. But anyone but them, they're
it's going to take a swell of NIL money to get it done somewhere.
And there are schools that are trying to do that. We mentioned GCU, they have crazy money, even High Point's putting in ridiculous money. Charleston has a lot. But there's levels to this, man. There's levels when guys, AJ DeBansa gets $8 million a year.
I know.
It's just, you can't compete with stuff like that
but
at some point.
From a school, by the way, who historically is not one of the huge basketball schools.
Now they are.
Great question, Eric. Okay, from Twitter, from BenFed24, how do you think the Gators' new backcourt will play out? Shout out our guy, Xavier Lee.
Yeah, I thought about this one a lot. It's tough, the Florida backcourt, because last year they play with really good bigs, and consider Houck a frontcourt player, right? Houck and Condon and Chinyulu and whatever, and Micah Handlocked, and they're very good bigs. They can play make and they do a lot of dribble handoffs, and they give offensively the space for the guards to cook. For Will Richard, Walter Clayton, Elijah Martin, hey, the bigs are going to be able to play off you, open space up for you. You guys can play very, very freely. I think offensively, it'll be very similar. You'll see Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee be the two dudes, in my opinion, at least. I think you'll get AJ Brown from Ohio. I think is an underrated transfer also, to be honest. He's a really good scorer. You'll get a mix of him also. You'll get a little bit of Irv Klavchar, I think, is going to play. And I think Alex Lloyd, the freshman, is going to play. CJ Ingram, I think, more of like a wing. I don't know if he's a guard. But I think Boogie and Xavier offensively will be very, very good. They're both going to play make. I think Boogie will have the ball in his hands a little more. They're both going to be able to score. Xavier's a little more explosive. Defensively is what I worry about in the backcourt. Like I said, Xavier's my guy, but he's not. He knows he's not the best defender. He's thin, he's smaller. And
by the way, Torvik has Florida as the number 5 projected team. A lot of new guys coming in. And I think they have Xavier. He's got Xavier at like 7 points per game. That's low.
My brother is not scoring 7 points
That's
a game.
low.
Oh, no way.
That's low.
They'll be good again. The system works very well with guards like they have now. With these guys. I don't think that they're Walter Clayton and Will Richard and whatever level, but the bigs are also, every single big from last year is on the team again this year. So where you rely a lot more on the guards, you rely a lot more on Houck and Condon this year. So it doesn't have to be as much Xavier Lee and Boogie Fland as it was Walter Clayton and Elijah and Will Richard. I don't question if they're going to be able to win a title with that backcourt defensively, but I do love my Gators.
Todd Golden
he's a wizard, yeah.
Is remarkable. All right, question number 4 from our guy, Mike Venezia.
Hell yeah. Shout out Makeshift Hoops. Great channel he has, Mike Venezia.
Shout out Manalapan.
Follow. Shout out Manalapan.
Shout out Mike.
Shout out Manalapan. Shout out Mike.
Mike wanted to know 3 college basketball arenas on your bucket list for this coming season.
Yeah, number 1 is I want to go to the Marriott Center at BYU.
Yeah.
I need to go to... We are Coach Burgess, Coach Young, KY, everybody.
By the way, we talked about AJ. You got the Jimmer behind you. We're talking about BYU.
We are coming. I'm coming there. And the Marriott Center looks crazy also. Like, they're going to be great.
Yeah.
I also have never been to Utah.
Oh, bro.
Beautiful, I heard.
When the plane flies into Salt Lake with the mountains around you and the snow.
God. I'm very excited.
Also, by the way, not where I would think of this. I had a really amazing Italian meal in Salt Lake City. I know it's not Provo. But shout out Valters in Salt Lake City. If you know, you know.
We're going to Provo.
Utah's beautiful.
And I do want to go to the Spectrum Center at Utah State at the same time. I will say that.
Utah's beautiful.
I want to go to Logan, Utah, as well as Provo, but Marriott Center first. Purdue, I will be there. I'm not going to share when yet. I will be.
I can't make it. I'm not happy.
Yeah, I will be at Mackey. I almost forgot the name. In West Lafayette. That's going to be unbelievable. For similar reasons. The fans, I hear amazing things, and the team's going to be great. Texas Tech, Lubbock. I need to go down to Lubbock this year.
Nice.
Christian Anderson's my dog. It's so hard to get to Lubbock. I've already done the research from here. You have to fly, like, connecting flight.
You went to Waco last year.
That was easier than you think.
Okay.
You fly to Dallas, you drive 2 hours. Lubbock is, like, in the top part of Texas.
Yeah, I know.
So you have to, like, fly, like, from New Jersey. You got to do 2 flights and then drive, like, 3 hours. Yes.
You do, yeah.
That's crazy.
Oklahoma City.
But then you got to drive, like, 2 or 3 hours still. I'm going to go. Still going to go.
Buc-ee's is on there.
This is my job now, my full-time job. Not yet. I should have said that. Whatever.
Almost. Okay. Question number 5.
Yeah.
Bonus question. You haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
From Max Medvedev on Instagram. If you played college basketball today, who would be your player comp?
If I played college basketball today, who would be my player comp? Like, you didn't just say that out loud.
Try not to overinflate your abilities.
Maybe you could help me also.
Okay.
I'm going to explain myself.
Go ahead.
So I have modeled my pickup game after, like, Drew Holiday.
Okay.
Very, very good defender.
Okay.
I'm a good offensive player. I'm not, like, prolific, but I can get to it, and I can take over a game every now and then, depending on the pickup level.
I'd say you're an above-average shooter for your competition.
I'd say I'm an average shooter.
Okay, but
I can shoot.
Okay.
Yes, I can shoot. Yes, I can shoot. That's the Jose Alvarado thing. Yes, I can shoot. It's tough. I'm trying to think of, like, teams that have, like...
Yeah, or maybe a better way to frame the question is what team or coach would fit your style the most?
Houston and UConn.
Okay.
I'm literally a demon. Like, I'm not trying to, like... I'm not a demon of a player.
So the 2 best coaches in the country.
No, but I'm a psychopath. You know that.
You are a crazy person.
And you know that athletically I'm very intense.
I'd say.
And I get angry, but, like... I can be calm. I never stop. My energy is crazy. So I feel like Miles Uzon at Houston is a good one.
I like that one.
I'll say Miles Uzon.
That's a deep one. I like it.
I'm a Houston guy.
By the way, I could see you playing for Dan Hurley. It would work.
That's my guy.
That means New Jersey's own, baby.
Dude, he would love coaching a guy like me. I believe that.
I think it would go over really well.
That's a great question.
I think that's a good comp. By the way, when I was playing basketball, my 2-player comps were Karl Malone and Tayshaun Prince.
So you should have said the first one.
Well, basketball.
That's a terrible human.
Basketball Karl Malone.
Okay.
The mailman, good passer, didn't shoot, wasn't shoot first, still very good, still very physical. And then I think as my basketball career got lazier, I became more of a Tayshaun Prince, block a lot of shots, get a lot of rebounds, mid-range game, don't bother with the threes.
Yeah, but you're still backing off trying to play. I've been trying to play it all the time, and you're like, nah, I'm busy.
I can't hang.
I'm playing pickleball.
Bro, I can't hang anymore. Whoa.
Stop.
There's no pickleball slander allowed on this podcast.
I don't dislike pickleball, but like there's a
I play
drastic
pickup
difference.
hoops too.
And you invite me, I want to play.
You're too intense. You just said it.
No, but I can dial it back and pick up.
Fine deal.
If I'm playing college basketball, I'm gonna dive on the floor.
Come hoop.
Next time you invite me, I'm there.
Deal.
Fine.
Deal.
Great way to end the episode. Thank you for submitting your questions. We got a ton of great ones. Keep submitting them for next week. I do want to tell you, I know we took a hiatus. I was in Norway. Every single Monday until I die. I just said that. Until I die, I'm going to be doing this podcast, okay?
Except in May.
No,
We sleep in May.
I never sleep. Speak for yourself, moron.
Shout out John Rothstein. Thanks. Like, subscribe,
Yeah.
rate the episode. We love you.
Appreciate you being here.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.